that you've had an opportunity to reflect upon some of the misconceptions related to time management, the next step is going to be figuring out what you do every day. We talked about the fact that you probably do a lot more than you think you do, but without really looking at a list saying, okay, this is what I spent time on doing, you're never really going to know, and you won't really fully appreciate how much you actually do. The other thing that's important about tracking all of your activities is that when you track your activities in this way, it also tells you how long things take. So you get to kill two birds with one stone, where you're able to then identify what is it that I'm doing in a day and how long do each of these things take. Now, for many of us, we start our day with an expectation that we're going to do X, Y, Z. We have a couple of things that are on our priority list. Maybe we set them up the night before. But typically what happens in a research administrator's day is that you're going to come into work, you'll open up your email, and suddenly there's going to be an email from somebody or the other that needs to get addressed now. And so you're handling that email, then another email comes in and you deal with that. And then it's 2:00 and you haven't yet started on the things that you had originally intended to do when you first came in, okay? Email is the great derailer of productivity. It can be a very, very powerful tool when used properly. But unfortunately, over the years, our relationship with email has become so casual and so unstructured that it has a tendency to take over and derail our days more often than not. And so what you're going to do is on page 11, there's an activity catalog sheet. What you're going to do is you're going to each day, when the morning starts, you're going to start writing in the sheet what you spent your time doing. So you're like, oh, 6:00, made breakfast, took a shower, whatever, did my meditation, started work at 8, right? So from 6 to 8, that's how long it took you to get ready, get things sorted, so on and so forth. Now, I don't have children, so I don't have those extra challenges that come in there. But you may have, every day I plan on starting work at 8, and it turns out that I never start until 9 because I always have some sort of crisis to deal with. There's no way for you to know that until you write all this down and look at it on the sheet. So for a single day, you're going to go through and write down everything that you do and how long it takes you. Now, this exercise is actually way more powerful if you do it for a full week because it allows for the variations within the days and the variations within activities and things like that. So you start to get a more holistic idea, but doing it just for one day is fine if that's all you want to do. Gold star if you do it for a week because you're really going to get some seriously great info if you do it that way. So the first thing you're going to do is going to catalog it. And then on page 12, you'll see that there is a reflection sheet. And that reflection sheet is meant to really give you the opportunity at the end of the day to think about what you did during the day, reflect upon the priorities that you wanted to get to that you didn't, and make note in there of what that means for you now, right? So let's say today you didn't get to the grant submission that's due 3 days from now. What just happened now is that you're going to have less time to deal with it. So now it's going to become more and more of a crisis because you have less time to deal with it. So some of those things, as you start to make note, you'll start to see how an activity today or making a choice about priorities today really affects future you, which allows you to then say, well, okay, you know what? I'm not going to answer that email. Instead, I am going to check that. I am going to go through the first review of the grant and get that out of the way. And then I'll come back to that email if I have time because that email is a little bit less important. We'll talk about how to figure that out in a minute. So each day you're going to do the cataloging and then the reflection. This is just for you to review and keep so you have an understanding of what your activities are and how you feel about these things. The important part about the reflection is really starting to get an idea of how are you spending your days in relation to what makes you happy. So let's say you go through your day, you catalog everything and you look at it and it turns out you didn't get to any of your priorities. You don't feel confident about how your day went at all, despite the fact that you did all these things. So you're looking at all this and you're like, man, I did a lot, but I'm still not happy with how my day went, right? The question becomes, okay, what could I have done in this day? What would I have chosen to do differently, right? What would I have skipped? What would I have been like, why did I answer that email? Doctor Who said that this was super important and highly urgent and had to be dealt with right now, but now, and at the time I did it and I thought it was, but when I'm reflecting upon it, it probably could have waited, right? So what are some of those things? And only you know what those things are for you. We all have them, but only you know for you with your particular portfolio and priorities and challenges, how to distribute that. But it's important to note that all of us have those things in our day that we may have wanted to kick the can down the road, not deal with right now, or not deal with at all, okay? That we need to be able to pinpoint those so that we can, without judgment. It's okay that you did it. This is how we figure out what we want to do by looking and saying, I don't think I want to do that, okay? So now that you've spent this time looking through your day and reflecting upon how you felt about it, this gives you the opportunity to really think about, what would I have wanted to do instead? So if I had the day to do over and I wanted to do it differently, how would I have done that? And the very first way, the primary way of doing it, is to have a system of prioritization that will allow you to triage things as they come in based off of a framework, a system. So it's not like you're deciding on the fly how something is going to be prioritized. You already know what makes something a priority and what does not make something a priority, or what makes something urgent or important, and how to deal with that. And once you've determined that, then your list of things that you did each day becomes rearranged in your mind. And you're like, okay, these were the 10 things that I would have done, and these 10 could go to the trash. I never needed to do them, okay? So we're going to set it up so that you know these things in advance. So now when things come at you during the day, you already know where that fits. I don't need to do that. That can be dealt with later, so on. And so you can really focus on the things that you have decided are important and not get carried away by other people's momentum or other people's sense of urgency or other people's panic. You've got the videos, you've got the passion, you've got the desire. Now it's time for you to go reclaim your schedule. Send me an email, comment on this post, let me know how it went for you. I cannot wait to hear how awesome you feel after having gone through it just once. And to make sure that you don't miss any content from me, don't forget to like me on social media, subscribe,